Hey, this is Maverick. I want to welcome Bourbon Leather to the Slacker82Alpha family. They are our new sponsor for the show. They're the ones who do our hats. If you've seen the hats that I wear on the show, that's the ones that they do. They offer custom leather patch hats made with real full grain leather. So make sure you check them out at bourbonleather.com and tell Freddie Maverick and Goose sent you. If you use the promo code SLACKER, that gets you an additional 10% off. So if you have a show and you want hats for the show, or you just like wearing hats like I do, get them, man. These guys are great. The product is great. The hats are great. They're comfortable. I mean, you can't ask for a better hat. And they're reasonably priced. So once again, make sure you go to bourbonleather.com. Make sure you tell Freddie that Maverick and Goose sent you. And again, use the promo code SLACKER for 10% off.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Whoa, Lord, it's a damn shame what the world gone to from people like me and people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, hey, it is. Yeah. I know it's a shame, you smiling, holding the pain. You working, they holding your pay. As a fat, it's a taxes to make it so you can't relax. And you broke at the end of the day, it's always the same. They send it all to Ukraine, while children in long to be saved. Look what they doing, our country is soon to be ruined. They screwing the home of the brave. Who do we blame? The news won't take it, the truth. Delusional fools do remain. Got the principles of a Christian who, you know, can never be used for their games. We're used to the games. It's time to wake up America, here to remove the restraints. They got us in chains. Better keep God close and be united again for a change. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gone to from people like me and people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gone to from people like me and people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Yeah. You know what, I hate the way veterans don't get a break after putting their life on the line. They come back to the States and depression is racing. Need help so they won't contemplate suicide. Addiction rates higher than ever. People ashamed for just trying to get better. Alcoholism been calling in victims. This sickness will leave our relationships severed. No, this ain't no joke. On social media, why is everything woke? Wanted Biden, but now they're regretting their votes. Bet you agree Trump was better than most. I just pray that we never surrender our hope. Innocent folks been paying the price. Can't afford groceries and keeping on lights. Paying more for less and no, none of it's right. It's time to stand up together and fight. Damn shame what the world's gone to from people like me and people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gone to from people like me and people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is.
Hop in the truck, 10 of my buddies are already drunk. We don't go nowhere that doesn't have liquor and cigarettes. Riding mechanical bulls in the club. We like to hunt, leave with a gun. Come back tomorrow, we covered in blood with a bucket of guts. We all tough for the fucker, we pop in the clutch, we ain't stuck in the mud. I'm the white boy with the baseball bat, bunch of face tattoos and a NASCAR hat. In a backyard like scrap yard, got a glass jar full of tobacco that's blacker than asphalt. Rolling with hundreds of crackers who acting like animals, they cannot handle their alcohol. We the white boys from the backwoods and the bad hoods and the trailer park trash. That pack guns when I was younger, they taught me to struggle and hustle like 200 bikers. And they were my brothers, we coming for blood and you running for cover. Addicted to drugs in the gutter and drunker than anyone leaving the club. We go dumber than thugs, we got mullets and putters and multiple gunners that come in Hummers. You under the rubber, you'll never recover. Chain smoking, my lungs hurt, my neck red, got sunburns. Bumping Eminem, we all know the words. Bunch of white boys flipping hella birds. Hillbilly really don't care if you like them. Little bit of moonshine fire inside them. Kill him in a minute, don't care who's fighting. You don't wanna trip on the kids of Vikings. Ammo and mullets and cowboy hats out in public. Got ammo stashed in my cousins and cashing addicts and cupboards. They all diss and we don't listen, can't hear it no more. We gone fishing, they gone missing. I told y'all before. I be on some white people shit. Hanging out the window of a truck, yelling, I don't give a fuck. White people shit. Every time they see me pulling up, they be like, oh my god, he be on some white people shit.
jumping out the plane, no parachute, so I'ma get there sooner. I ain't learned shit from school, always ditch Ferris Bueller. Screw your little truck, my square body over there's cooler. Every white boy riding with me over there, shooters. I'm the white boy with the Mossberg punk. Sit shotgun when I pop the truck, the Northern a monster off the jump. I'm up, I rock a lots of guns. This ain't soccer, but watch them run. Shoot them in the lung, need oxygen. Huffing blood like he up and does. Talk too much till it's coughing shuts. I'm never gonna back up too much ammo. We got hammered, used to battle. Had my fights right on the gravel. Back in the day, we used to handle shit like men, but now we're canceled. Look at us like states for cancer. Look at them like pull your pants on. Dumbass kids ain't got no answer. Looked up to dudes with tattoos and rap news and bad moves and abuse in my past acting stupid. I used the bad news for the gas to keep moving. I made it where I'm at. Now you rather see me losing. All my guys got tattoos on their face. They did the time they got jammed. What the hell's a blue check? They ain't got no Instagram. Ask around, everyone knows. They might think that I care, but I don't. I'll be on some
White people shit. Hanging out the window of a truck, yelling, I don't give a fuck. White people shit. Every time they see me pulling up, they be like, oh my god, he be on some white people shit.
Yes, segregated, but I'm still in the mix. I've been fucking with Timer before he got cancer for speaking the truth out the world and exposing it for what it actually is. I see race as an issue, I'm running it back to the government to tell them this is a democratic, liberated, conservative, patriarchy dipped in action, affirmative hit song. Bet they still cut me a check. State that I'm in as my mind is way deeper than color. I ain't think I'm blue versus red. I'm in control, consider that I'm carrying more than you know. One in the chamber that's ready to blow. Right at you pussies who claiming you won't. I'ma keep praying that you get exposed. I'm not abiding by rule that you set for me. I'm not that mad at the past. I mean, it was only a couple of centuries. Well, actually, I'm pissed, but won't let that be my identity. So on behalf of all blacks, I forgive and don't want to be enemies. Just say you're sorry and talk to me nice. This is comedic. If you get offended, that's a reflection of your own life and how you failed to live it right. So it's not black versus white, it's wrong versus right. Cause color is just a result of these multiple factors that we didn't choose. I mean, mom, dad, race, religion, things we're born into. Generational curses that get undone once we undo moves. See life from a different view, beyond our own skewed, manipulated by the news. Crude, shrewd things they use to confuse the masses. Put us in social classes, separated by percentages, paid for taxes, income brackets, clothes, cars, shoes, size of asses. I bet they're trying to blackmail me once I black out all these demographics and push past the stereotypical average and get blackballed and they cut all my traffic.
Oh my god, he be on some black people shit. Hanging out the window of the trunk, screaming, I don't give a fuck. Black people shit. Every time they see me pulling up, they be like, oh my god, he be on some white people shit.
Hey, this is Alex Jones. If you're looking for a true American podcast, listen to my friends Maverick and Goose live every Wednesday night.
All right, welcome everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? All right. Hang on a second here. I just got to check my other places here. Make sure. All right, yeah, it's working. Hey, Rumble's working. Okay. Sorry, got a little behind here. Had some technical difficulties before I started, so I had to change up some things real quick. Here. Ding sound. I don't know what that is, Zert. I don't hear it on this end. And I'm listening to the Rumble feed. I don't hear it. All right, welcome everybody. Loud and clear. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. All right, let me bring in the stations real quick. I want to welcome 105.7 to Phase, Patriot Radio, Art Radio, UG Media in the UK, J Parker Radio, Paisley Radio in the UK, FCM Live, Sword Radio, The Hit Network, FTM Radio, Crystal Radio, and West Rand Radio in South Africa. All right. So how's everybody doing tonight? Raccoon, welcome. Mark's in the house. Goose is running late as usual. Hey, Mark, I still don't understand how Goose was in the military and late for everything. I don't get it. But
Give it,
Mark,
the 15.
I don't understand. I mean, come on. I mean, you and I were both in the military, so I'm always on time.
He even called me today and it reminded me of the show.
And
Hey, Raccoon, welcome.
Hey, we have a new Speaker of the House.
Oh, really? I didn't see that. What was it?
Steve Scalise.
Oh, is that who he wanted? Oh, no.
I figured that was going to happen.
Trump wanted Gordon, didn't he?
Yeah, that's interesting because normally Trump endorses the people he knows are going to win, and he didn't win this one.
He was quick to endorse. Well, you know what? I think he was kind of forced to because I think it leaked out. I was reading something that said somebody leaked it before he was ready to say it. So then he just I mean, according to the article, they just assumed that it was leaked, so he just had to stick with it. He didn't want to, he wasn't going to go against it. But I don't know.
There's this website, and where they give liberty scores to all the congressmen and senators in Washington D.C. And Scalise has a 58, McCarthy had a 54, and just to let you know, Jim Jordan had a 95.
We're off to a good. So we're off to a good start, is what you're saying.
No, we didn't get much of an upgrade, did we?
Yeah. I was
Not
afraid
really.
it would happen that we wouldn't get it. We would get another piece of shit like we had.
I think we did, but see, we can't criticize this guy because he was shot.
Oh,
He's going to be untouchable, and then we got the sympathy for he's going to be given 100 days, but then the sympathy factor because he was shot, and I don't
Shot
understand
by a
why.
Democrat.
It doesn't matter. I don't understand why he's not more radically right wing than he is. 58 Liberty score. That's terrible, man.
yeah.
He's
That's
bought
terrible.
and paid for.
Yeah. So, if anybody ought to be rabid, it ought to be him because he took a bullet.
Yeah, I was afraid that was going to happen. No, I mean, there's a lot going on, huh? I mean, a lot of stuff going on. What do you think about this stuff with Israel?
I think the United States will give him about a week to retaliate, and then we'll start putting pressure on him to stop.
You think we'll tell them to stop?
Oh yeah. About a week or so, we're going to tell him to stop. That's why the fleet's going there. It's not to assist Israel in any way. It's to
If I was
establish
Israel,
a peace of some type.
I'd tell fucking Biden to go fuck himself because Israel has every right to retaliate and do whatever they have to do. I mean,
Absolutely.
who are we to tell them what they can do and what they can't do? It's their country.
You might recall that we were the ones. It was George W. Bush was the one that encouraged them to uproot people on the West Bank, their own citizens, and they.
You also have to look back at the Balfour Agreement to give Israel to the Jewish.
Yeah.
They said, "Oh, you guys can live in peace." So they built the Gaza Strip, put a fence around it with only 2 openings, and they can't leave without permission. I mean, when you look at human rights, I mean, that's slavery.
Okay. These people are Jordanian.
Who?
The Palestinians. They're Jordanian.
And Jordan used to have all that area.
Yeah,
That's
what they
Ottoman Empire at one time.
They could.
I mean, Israel's getting hit from all sides. I mean, I see
open up a second front.
Freaking rockets from Syria were coming today. I mean, and then Turkey's condemning Israel for retaliating against the. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it I don't know, but like I said, I'm behind them 100%. Bomb the shit out of them. Make them a parking lot.
Well, I just wish I agree with you, and I think privately we probably should tell Israel that, but I don't think people like Lindsey Graham should be going on TV or Dan Crenshaw should be, espousing this all-out war stuff and taking it to Iran and all that stuff. I'm sorry, guys, that's a bit much. That's a bit much.
We don't need to.
But Israel needs to do everything they need to do to turn that place into a salt field.
Yep. I agree. We don't need to be involved. I mean,
Nope.
We're there. We're showing we're showing our support with the Ronald Reagan and the other ships that are there. But I think that's where we should sit. I mean, I don't think we should do anything. I think Israel's capable of handling their own stuff. They've been doing it for years, so I mean, it's not anything new that they're not used to.
No.
Well, they were certainly asleep at the wheel this time, though.
This time, yeah, I mean, but I was just going to say, but this time, for some reason, yeah, they were asleep at the wheel. I don't know how they missed this coming. I mean, this was a well coordinated attack on them, and for some reason, they weren't aware of it. That was coming.
Mav, normally a cat can't get across the border without the Israelis knowing about it.
Exactly.
How the hell did they get all that stuff in there and nobody knew what was happening? Just think
Exactly.
about it for a minute. With the money they give back to Iran, who is backing Hamas,
Oh yeah.
they're firing rockets we paid for, and Israel is trying to defend themselves with the rockets that we paid for.
Yeah. I mean, even which I was surprised, even the Iron Dome wasn't really. I mean, it
Didn't do shit.
It didn't do a whole lot in the beginning. I mean, because those rockets, a lot of rockets hit everywhere, and the Iron Dome didn't catch them for some reason.
They'll probably blame it on a cyber attack.
Yeah.
Just haven't came out and said it yet.
Well, yeah. But yeah, I was kind of surprised. I mean, but I mean, yeah, I just, like I said, I mean, I hope what you said, Mark, isn't true, that we convince them to not. I fully agree with a ground assault. Go into fucking Gaza and clean that shit out.
Yeah. Hey, don't get me wrong, Mav. I think they deserve every. They should do whatever they need to do to secure themselves. I just think the United States, in about a week, we are going to say, "Oh, stop." I don't agree with that, but that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, no, I hope that's not the case, but yeah,
I hope I'm wrong, but I bet you I'm right. Next week, we'll probably be hearing stuff about the United States is encouraging. Somebody I just saw, found this really interesting. Anytime there's a something going on in the world, the virtue signaling on Facebook with people's pictures, whether it's a BLM flag or a pride flag or a Ukrainian flag or a, South Africa flag. You know what I'm saying? They always post those things. Has anybody seen an Israeli flag? I haven't.
No, no, you're right. Yeah, no, I mean, usually, you see it all over Facebook. People posting, pray for this.
We got elements at our government that are blatantly anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
I hope that we don't send them $100 billion for a 2-year war. We can't afford it.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Let's see. Welcome, Bravo.
Hey, how's it going?
All right.
Hey.
All right. Yep.
I know that. I mean, I love Israel too, but isn't there something fishy? I mean, they supposedly have the greatest intelligent network next to us in the world, and they can't see a big old damn tractor coming in and knocking down the fence, and these really slow gliders gliding in. I mean, something just doesn't sound right. It sounds like a 9/11 deal there or something,
Well, yeah, I agree. I mean, we were just saying that we don't. I mean, how did they miss? This.
And it's 75 years to the day almost. Well, it was to the day from the 73 war. That was the Yom Kippur War also, where they did a sneak attack and they went in and the Israel. So, I mean, it's kind of crazy. I don't know. I'm skeptical of everything now because everything's such a lie and crazy.
You also have to think about this too. A few days back, before that, they stopped giving money to Ukraine when they lost the Speaker of the House, when they kicked him out. And all of a sudden, we have another war going on.
Right.
Is that a coincidence? There's no such thing as a coincidence.
Well, isn't it funny? Now we have a European war, a Middle Eastern war, and now we just need an Asian war, right?
Yeah.
Which is coming. the whole freaking thing is staged. I mean, not saying it's not happening and people aren't dying. I'm saying it's not organic.
The
None of this
leaders have
shit's
staged
organic.
it. The leaders
Hey,
staged it, and I'm sorry that people are killed in collateral damage into the crap that they're going through as hostages, or blatantly just killed in their houses and walking down the street and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But these leaders are the ones who are okaying this to go on, because nothing goes on in this war or in this world when a war goes on. Nothing's going on except the leaders are the ones who are foaming at the mouth. How much money are they going to make from the military complex? Because we basically supply every goddamn country in the world with stuff so they can have their wars.
And it doesn't seem kind of strange. You know, when that people don't realize when that started, there was infiltrators on the insides. They said some of the people had lived there 20 years and started attacking from the inside, and then they came in from the outside. So
they're using American weapons.
What have they been doing to all the Western nations for the last 10 years?
That's a really good point.
Pouring
right there,
all these people in. All of our enemies are coming in. Don't you think they're going to try to do something like that here and in Europe, in France, and Spain, and all these? This was part of the deal to cause a civil war within our country and these other Western countries.
We're the last bastion of freedom left in the world. If we go down, the rest of the world follows.
Oh yeah, everyone's watching us to see what's going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah, with all the people as wide open as our borders and the people that have been coming in, and I saw a chart that showed numbers of people from Afghanistan and Ukraine and that are
South
illegally
Africa.
coming across the border. I'm not talking about through the ports of entries. I'm talking about the illegals.
Oh yeah.
And they showed the countries that they were coming from, and they were like, there was a huge amount from Turkey. Now, why would people want to be seeking asylum from Turkey? I mean, it's a NATO country. It's a democracy, allegedly.
Yeah. I mean, you show the people down in
I can't. Those people need to be sent back. It's just that simple.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Though the guy that fixed the gutters on my house this week happened to be from Turkey.
I had my house roofed a while back by 10 guys from Mexico, and only one of them spoke English. The rest of them had to take all the direction from him.
You know what?
I was talking to them.
They tend to be the ones that do the best work these days. I don't know.
But they did do a great job. They did do a great job. I'm just saying. None of them could speak English. I even tried to talk to them, and they looked at me like, "What are you saying?"
Yeah. I had some painters here last week, and they couldn't speak English either. I had to call their boss and talk to him, and then he would tell them what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they seem nice, but yeah. I mean, so did the guy on 9/11. Supposedly, he worked with handicapped children. Remember the one that they said, oh, he was such a nice guy for about 5 or 6 years. He worked with handicapped children, this and that and everything. And he's supposedly one of the ones that flew in to the.
Yeah.
I got a little upset with my roofers because they dropped 9 Dagon energy drink cans down my exhaust plume for my furnace.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, they cut the top off of it, and it's a dual, a clean air exhaust. They dropped the cans down there, and I had to bring them out with the goddamn shop vac.
I would have made them pink. Yeah. Yeah. Did you say anything?
Yeah, I told them about it. I told the main man, I called the main company, and I said, look, you guys just cost me a mess. And they said, oh, don't worry, we'll pay for it. And they did. They paid for the damages and stuff, and a little bit extra for me having to go up there and pull the cans out of the damn exhaust plume.
At least they did that.
Yeah. But they made it right. But I told them, I said, you need to tell your people they don't do that crap in America, because those little holes in the roof have a purpose.
Yeah. They're not just for looks. They actually do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be living in any of these gun-free zone cities right now, because you know what? They're the first ones on the list, I'm sure, for these people.
I didn't hear of any of them going to a small town anywhere under 100,000 people.
No.
I haven't seen any in my little small town yet.
That just goes to show you, Bravo, why they sent that warning to gave New York that warning about the lone wolf. I mean,
Yeah.
that's where a lot of them are going. I mean, you can't help but notice. I mean, when you look at the people that are being put on these buses and that are coming off these buses,
Yeah.
there's women and children. They're all
And,
males, military age males. I mean,
and remember what they did? What they did during these other attacks that a couple summers ago? Somebody magically would stage bricks. So imagine if they stage guns at certain places, and these people have guns instead of bricks this time.
Right.
You know what I mean? We never did find out who staged all the bricks everywhere for everybody to throw.
no, kind of just got brushed away. You never
Just
heard
think of the damage they could do with machetes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, especially in a big city like New York with all those people. You're talking about, it wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good.
No.
I'll tell you what, they try that shit down here. People are going to be blasting them left and right.
Oh yeah, same down here in Florida. I mean, nobody's going to put up with that shit. That's what
Right.
I was
Hey, Mav.
talked about that the other day, me and you, and I said that America's just not going to put up with that. I mean, especially the South. I mean, the North. Well, you're on your own basically, but down here,
Right.
nobody's going to stand for that.
Hey, Mav.
Yes, sir.
There was a guy who runs an Uber, and he had a guy in his car, and he tried to pay with a UN MPV card, I think MPV or MVP card, which is basically a credit card for that person through the UN. He said he was from, I think it was Afghanistan. Why would that guy have a damn UN credit card?
That's a little interesting.
Yeah.
Did it work? I mean, did he?
Yeah, it worked. I mean, the guy even told him, he said, they pay me to come over here, and I just have to wait. And he's just tooling around the big city, doing his thing till he gets his phone call. Sounds like a false flag to me.
Yeah. Yeah, something sounds a little weird there.
Yeah.
Well, it makes you wonder how many more are like that. How many more are out there that are doing this?
So he's on
Probably
the UN
tens of thousands.
dime, just driving around the city waiting for his keyword to go out and do what he needs to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, don't be surprised. Something like this is going to happen here. I'm telling you.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a gun, you better get one. I mean,
Yeah.
You're not a carrier already. You better.
And not just for yourself, because when they come out, you need to help your fellow brethren out there a little bit too. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of sheeple. Remember, most of the people are sheeple. They're not going to have a clue.
Yep. Some people be cowering in the corner while their kids and their wife get raped and murdered, and they'll be cowering and screaming for their life.
Yeah.
While they take a bullet in the forehead.
I'll tell you what. I mean, all these people that took them hostage and all that shit. I mean, you can't. That's crazy. It's called fight to the death. You're going to go hostages, just like being taken hostage by the Nazis.
You also have to look at Israel has an open carry law too.
You know what?
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Why
you didn't
did that
see more
shit
people
happen?
shooting back there.
Exactly. I was wondering the same thing. I thought Israel was one of the places that gave their citizens. I mean, now they are. I was reading that they were arming their citizens. They were giving all.
They've been armed.
Why? When I read that, they were saying that they were giving citizens guns to protect themselves. But I'm thinking, I thought they already had. I thought that was like something that each family had in the house already.
Well,
a lot of people don't pay attention to that, Mav.
But isn't
They
it?
don't
I
pay
thought
attention that they had
everyone
that
had to
before.
put in 2 years. Everyone had to put in 2 years at a certain age, right? into the military in
That's what I
there.
mean. So, and then I mean, but they were going house to house and killing everybody in the houses, and I mean, but I did if they had weapons in the house, why weren't they using them?
I know it's something. It just doesn't make sense with a lot of this crap.
A lot of this doesn't make sense, but they're playing it in the media
Yeah.
as it just happened, and these people have been doing this since the '68 war.
Well, right.
They've been prepared for another uprising from the Palestinians, and I don't understand how it happened the way it did without the retaliation right up front, because it took the damn Israeli Defense Force a day before they could even do anything.
Well, hit me is I was watching videos and people were, you see all these guys parachuting in all over the place, and people are just filming it and laughing, going, oh, and I'm thinking, is this normal that you see hundreds of freaking people with parachutes parachuting down into the places in and everybody's just filming it and just like kind of watching. I don't know if it was just like such a surprise. It just doesn't. I mean, the whole thing. Yeah, I agree, bro. The whole thing just doesn't make any sense.
I think they were just. I think it was just they were asleep. They were too comfortable. They were asleep, and
well, Yom Kippur is the holiest. Is their holiest day there? That whole period. So, they are kind of at a kind of skeleton crew places and things like that. You know what I mean? Because everyone is on holiday.
Well, given the history, perhaps that needs to be when it's needs to be heightened. So again, I think this was a tremendous intelligence. Well, no, I don't. It goes beyond just an intelligence failure. An intelligence failure is when 2 or 3 people get across the border and do something. This was an operational failure.
Yeah, I mean, you can't make it to the border fence when you see a front end loader there trying to knock it down, for crying out loud. Come on.
Not to mention most of those pillars up there that they have, their cupolas have electronic weapons. They automatically open up if anything gets too close to the fence, and they're all controlled by motion sensors in the computer.
Well, they are where they are now, and let's just hope that they, the sword of Gideon is swift.
Yeah, but that was the most that was one of the most secure places on the planet,
right?
Before all this happened.
Yeah.
The thing that bothers me is that the media is trumpeting all this shit. So when they're on board with it, it's fucked up. There's something not right with it. Because you can't trust them. Those people are the enemy of the people. So something's going on. I think that they want these wars, and then you hear Russia talking about nukes and things like that. They want a nuclear war because they know what's getting ready to come, but it's still not going to stop it. I don't care how bad it gets. What's coming is coming. They can't stop it no matter what they do.
I mean, some of this stuff. I mean, it's just sick. I mean, they killed all those babies. Like I think that in that one place was like 40 babies or 40. They called them babies, but I think some of them were like
40 kids.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just sick beheading these kids and stuff. I mean, I don't
know. You wonder if they brought in the ISIS people in there to help them out and everything. Look,
we financed ISIS too through the Obama administration. We
gave
developed
all those UN trucks and all that shit and all those weapons too, just like they did in Afghanistan.
Yep. And one of the other things too is, I said earlier, I don't think you may caught it, was all the pictures I've seen of these people. They're carrying American weapons, M4s and saws. Where did those come from? The black market from
all this shit from
Afghanistan or Ukraine?
Yeah. I mean, this was a well-coordinated attack. I mean, it wasn't just something they just said, "Oh, well, we're going to do this." I mean, it must have been planned for a while because the way they executed it was
right. And if it was coordinated, that all the intelligence agencies knew exactly what they were doing.
Welcome.
Well,
And you also have to
I think you may give them
understand.
too much credit. I don't think they did know.
You also have to
I don't think
understand
I
that
just don't think they did know.
You know what? Then they don't deserve all the money that they get if they're
Well,
that incompetent.
amen.
I
Amen.
don't think they're that incompetent.
I,
you
well,
also have to understand that there's only two ways into the Dagon West Bank through two gates. How did they get all them damn rockets and weapons into there when everything's inspected before it goes through the fence?
Yeah. I don't know.
A lot of the bomb, or a lot of the rockets they've been shooting off have been Dagon rockets, just to maybe cause a small explosion on a building or something. But shit, they fired up 5,000 damn rockets, and nobody knows where the hell they came from.
Yeah.
They're not the
up
most
with this
expensive
whole
rockets
narrative.
that they're shooting over there, but they're using those.
No.
They're using that Iron Dome. Which how much are each one of those? They don't even they didn't even have enough of those Iron Dome missiles to even shoot down everything.
Patriot missiles.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, but not when you're bombarded with that many.
Well, it came from the Patriot system, but now they call it what's the Iron Dome or something like that. Yeah.
I know it's nothing but damn Patriot missiles with a damn radar to pick up any missiles incoming from
They
either
enhanced
direction.
they took our Patriot batteries and made them better, supposedly.
Yeah. But still, there's too much fishiness in this to call it. They did it right off of the spur of the moment. It was a highly anticipated moment for them to do that. And how in the hell did they get all the weaponry inside the West Bank to do that?
Yep, that's what I want to know. And you know, when we say false flag, it doesn't mean that something didn't really happen. Of course, all these people got killed. I mean, you see it right on video.
False pretenses.
Right. It's that it wasn't organic. It was staged. You know what I mean?
They probably had crisis actors for the pictures on some places too.
Yeah, remember in Afghanistan when they were running next to that C-17 and they were smiling and waving and everything?
The blow up.
That's what I try to tell people. I said, look, you see how close they were to those engines? If those engines were really like running, they would have sucked those people right into those damn things.
Yeah, that was complete bullshit airplane that they used a blow up because nothing on it really looked identical to the C-17. The landing gear wasn't the same. The engines were blacked out. You couldn't see the impellers on the engines. You couldn't see.
And they were jogging next to
through
it.
the windows.
They weren't even running
blacked
fast.
Out.
Yeah, they weren't even running fast. They were jogging and laughing and waving.
Yeah. It's all crisis acting. Because those damn engines, when they kicked on, even in idle, they'll knock your ass to the ground.
Oh, hell yeah.
And if you're standing near them, they'll suck you into the damn impeller blocks. But most people take it as the truth. That really happened.
They were saying that they think they're keeping the hostages like in tunnels underneath.
The tunnel network in Gaza is immense.
Yeah.
And how did they get so many? Like they were showing all these hostages, right? Hamas was on TV, and they were asking them for their name, rank, and serial number. These people were admirals, generals. I mean, like high intelligence people and all that. How the hell did they get all these people?
That's what I mean.
I couldn't believe it. I'm serious. In one row of like 10 people, there was like 5 generals in there. I'm like, what the hell? How did they get all these people? Where were they all in the same? Were they all in the same base? I mean, geez.
Apparently, there's a lot of Americans that are there too.
Yeah, dual citizenship people. Yeah, maybe even some others. Who knows?
You know, and it's funny. I mean, I think the last count I heard was like 11 Americans dead, and you hear nothing. I mean, nobody's talking about that. You
Yep.
don't hear anything from the White House about the Americans, what they're doing to secure Americans over there.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I mean, we saw more pictures in one day than we've seen altogether for the for the other war, the
Ukrainian
Ukraine
war.
war.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we didn't have Telegram, we wouldn't even know what the hell was going on over on the Ukraine war. This one, it was like plastered all over every TV station. It's all over YouTube. It's everywhere.
Yeah. Well, people
Well,
were.
as soon as they blasted how many Americans died, the damn White House shut down.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, because they didn't want to. They didn't want to answer.
And Joe Biden was having a picnic while this was going on too. You think that would have stopped that one dead in its tracks? But he had a live band and everything there, and they partied all Saturday with that shit while this was all going on and being televised. It's like they were having a goddamn victory dinner.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we're going to hear. I'm sure more stuff is going to come out eventually.
But you got to remember the people that are pulling these strings and doing this stuff. It's not the actual nation. I mean, the nation's responding to what happened to them, right? It's the people in high places. Just like we're finding out years later, in World War II, that people saw those Japanese planes come in for Pearl Harbor, and they didn't say anything. Why? Because they wanted to get us into the war. I mean, so you can't trust anything really, But
You have to use your own discernment.
yeah, but I believe what the Israelis are saying, that Gaza will never look the same again, and it'll never be the same again. It'll be like a big wasteland for about 10 miles. Nobody will be allowed in there.
And I can't say that I blame them.
I don't blame them either right
Turn
now.
it into a salt field.
Yeah.
Scorch the earth.
Yeah, they need to take out all the people who were involved in the goddamn failure of their system because they allowed that thing to happen.
Yep.
It just didn't happen. Somebody at the top allowed it to happen, and they were making tons of money off of it now.
And they probably set up all that shit when they got rid of Netanyahu for a while, and they had the other guy in there and fighting back and forth and everything, and here these people setting up and getting ready for all this crap. Yeah.
No, all we can do is speculate on what the hell it is. I mean, I myself think it came from outside of Israel to do that. By way of outside Israel, I'm saying the people who are involved in the UN and the EU, because the money laundering got shut down in goddamn Ukraine.
Right. It's funny how that happened right at the same time. That's what I'm saying. Nothing is by accident. You know that there's no coincidences anymore. If anyone thinks anything's a coincidence anymore, they're crazy.
You're asleep at the wheel.
But like always, the American people, the Israeli people, the French people, the Spanish people, the UK, the Australians, we're all cattle to these people.
Yep. Those two religions, you're cattle because you don't belong to those two religions, and they can steal, they can lie, they can kill you, and they will not seek retribution for it because of the fact that we're all considered to be infidels in both religions.
I don't know. I mean, Turkey.
Oh, I heard Jan Harper Hayes again today. I'm telling you, shit's getting. I mean, shit's coming. I mean, I think this is why they're trying to do it. They're trying to. To me, now, if I was a bad guy, I would want to drain our military to have them so spread out all over the world that when shit happens here, they can't respond. You know what I mean? Yes. And that's what they're trying to do right now. They want to get us, first of all, they've given all of our oil reserves away. They're giving all of our conventional weapons and missiles and everything. to Ukraine. You know what I mean? And then they're going to send our military and special forces all over the place so that they can't respond when they need to respond over here.
I was reading that we put our special forces on alert to help Israel to locate. It says U.S. put special forces on alert to help Israel forces locate American hostages as hundreds of brave IDF reservists arrive at JFK to answer the call to fight after terrorists behead babies. So it looks like maybe we're gonna do something to help the Americans.
You just wonder that the regular Palestinian, what I mean, they weren't for this. I mean, all their kids, you're watching the videos and they're holding their children and their children are all bloodied and dead too. I mean, the average person didn't want that to happen. So you're like, who's behind all this? They're paying contractors to do all this shit. What did they say? It was like 500 people that did all this or something? 800 people who went in there and did all this fighting? I mean, it wasn't that many.
Yeah, they might have they might have been hired by our government to do it too, because one of our agencies is so freaking powerful they can draw people from any country to do anything they want.
Yeah. I'm just saying they do that shit over here. They've never seen warfare that will happen if that happens over here. Because you know what? That just kind of solidifies everything, just like that Marine colonel said when the Chinese surrounded them. And he said, well, I guess that really kind of solidifies it here. They fought to the death, and then they were still able to break out of the line and still make it all the way down and be evacuated to South Korea. That's the kind of warfare that they'll see if that ever happens here. Because good people that are living good lives won't give a shit at that point.
That's why the government tries to kill off the damn veterans, so they don't have any will to fight as an average citizen, because they don't know how to fight. They haven't been trained because we haven't had a draft. It's been a volunteer army.
Yeah.
What was the movie with the Swamp Fox? Remember the War of 1812?
Yeah, the Patriot.
The Patriot. Remember William Wallace, right?
No.
He didn't want to go. Remember he fought in the other war and he didn't want to go in this war, and he said he promised that he wouldn't fight anymore, this and that and everything, and they pushed him to the fucking point where he started killing everybody.
Well, they killed his son. That's
they killed his son.
Caused him.
It wasn't William Wallace, it was Francis Marion.
Francis Marion, yes, you're right.
Well, the thing is, if anything like that happens here, I mean, obviously the people that do our show will be defending themselves.
Yeah, the only problem with that is, we're a little older generation here, guys. I think, we've got this Gen X, man. They play video games and they spend most of their time looking at their telephone.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We're going to defend the nation with this generation. I'm not very optimistic.
This is true.
Well, something that they don't realize in these video games is during wartime, there is no such thing as a timeout or a redo.
Yeah.
When you get killed, you're not coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
But remember when was it the Gulf War broke out and they were really worried, wondering how our troops would, because none of them had seen warfare or anything like that, and we were thinking they were going to be a bunch of pussies, but they ended up stepping up and doing the job. So I'm hoping they still have that American blood in them.
Well, and most of them were in the Gulf War were reservists at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You also have to remember here in the last 10 years, they've been trying to drain that fight spirit out of people.
Hey, I was speaking to that just this week. They named a new Army Chief of Staff. His name was General George, and he said, "Hey, we're going to shift our focus to war fighting." And I was like, "Okay, that's a start."
Where was the focus before?
Exactly.
Yeah, did you see that was it the Secretary of the Army or something that is trying to cut back the Special Forces Command people by 10% or some shit?
Yeah.
Does that tell you anything right there? Nothing to see there. Nothing to see there.
That guy they picked for the Secretary of the Army is a has been. The guy was never really a real soldier. He never seen anything, and he wasn't really that great of a person in the military.
Who are we talking
His
about?
record shows it.
The new chief of staff?
Yeah,
I
chief of
forget
staff.
his name. I read the article the other day.
I can't think of it, but
We
I
talking
read
about
an
General
article
George?
about him. Well, I read an article about him, and all of his awards that he ever got was participation awards, like an ARCOM. Done a good job yesterday. Here's an ARCOM.
Yeah.
But a lot of our heads have never been in combat. A lot of those people have never been in combat, and they're making decisions for combat, and they're going
Right.
off of an algorithm they've been handed. They don't let them fight anymore. It's like in Afghanistan, don't shoot back until you get permission. Somebody fires my ass up, I'm shooting back. I don't care what side is what.
Right. Well, that's the difference from our generation to these new ones now.
Yeah.
They don't know when it's really an unlawful command.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that they have the ability and the right to not go through with an order they think is immoral or illegal.
Or that's going to get them killed.
Yeah, or get others killed.
Right.
I mean, they talk about risk assessment all the time in the Army. Risk assessment. Shit, if you do that all the time and you're not going to go into the battle because you're going to be afraid you're going to get hurt. You might break a nail. Might not have any man pads when you need one.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, that's what's made our military better than the other ones. It's ingenuity. I mean, you can lose a couple of the head guys, and then the next guy will step up, and he's pretty smart himself, and he can figure shit out. But like you said, if you get everybody into this standardized process control bullshit where they can't make any decisions on their own and everything like that,
that's exactly what the Russian army was before the fall of the USSR. If you shot the commander of a tank, that tank stopped because they didn't know where to go. There was no one to instruct them on where to go
because they didn't trust that they would flee.
Yeah, they didn't cross train any positions.
Right.
You're a driver, you're a gunner, you're a rifleman. You do as you're told, and nobody knows what the hell to do after that because they don't give them the battle plans any more than what they want them to perform. And there's no real chain of command after somebody gets knocked down because it's going to happen. Somebody's going to get killed, and somebody's got to step into place.
Yeah,
but our army today doesn't emphasize that anymore.
The Air Force, they only gave the Russian pilots so much fuel because they were afraid they were going to take off.
Yeah.
And defect somewhere.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to hear something rather astounding? Listen to this. Listen to this. Since 9/11, we have imported 2.3 million people from predominantly Islamic countries.
Yep. Destroy from within.
Yeah.
Speaks to something we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
You combine that with a low birth rate.
But you know what they'll call that? The media will call that a civil war when the war breaks out with them against us. They'll say, oh, that's a civil war between, infighting between the different factions. No, it's called an invasion. We're fighting an external force that's been brought into the country.
I fought one invasion already. That was in Grenada, and we went in there to stomp the crap out of Cubans. And nobody really was lost in that war as far as not knowing what to do when something happened, because we were trained to do it. But nowadays they don't do that. They would rather you have diversity training than rifle range time.
Yeah, and that's when we had those nice old Spectre gunships. So if you guys got in trouble, we just came over there and we blasted the shit out of them.
Well,
You
you
know?
still have the Spectre too, man.
Oh yeah,
It's
we
gotten
do,
better.
and they're even better than they were before.
Yeah. I seen one of them shoot up some guys over there, and it's like, holy shit! I'm glad I'm not on the receiving end of that burst.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like remember when in Grenada when they hit that hospital, they thought they were being shelled by ships. Out there. They thought
Yeah.
they were taking.
Well, they went through the Salinas airport and they literally wiped it clean of everything. At the end of the runway, there was about 400 dead cows laying on the ground that had been shot with a minigun.
Oh,
And
yeah.
where I ended up at after I got out of the Salinas airport that night, there was bodies around, but you didn't see them because it's so damn dark. The next morning, I woke up laying next to a dead Cuban because they said, just park your vehicle here and go to sleep. And I got out of the damn Gamma Goat, laid down on the front tire there on the driver's side, and they woke me up next morning. And I wake up, throw my poncho liner back, and there's a dead Cuban laying next to me. So what do? I punch him in the arm, say, get up, Billy, we got to go to work. And they looked at me like, you're a sick bastard. They still talk about that too.
Hey, I'm sitting here reading an article that says that Egypt actually warned Israel that this was going to happen.
Yeah, I saw that.
I seen that this morning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was an
That's what I'm saying. Somebody wanted this to happen so that
Yep.
they could do what they're doing. You know what I mean?
The oligarchs.
Yeah. Well, we know from different papers that they found, you know, that they want a world war. They want a huge world war.
Yeah. We've been
And
in
like I
World
said, they've
War
already got
III
it in two
since
regions now. They got it. Now they just need Asia, and then they can finish it up. And if you've
We've
been
been
reading
in-
the articles, the Philippines has been going and taking down all of the flotation barriers that the Chinese have been putting around their islands and everything. They
Yep.
said enough of this bullshit. We're not taking that anymore.
We've been in World War III since June 20 or January 20th, 2021. When Potato Head got into office, that's when shit started happening to us.
Yeah.
And it's been slowly going downhill, and now it's kind of teetering over the next cliff.
Well, they know
And
we're weak.
hopefully,
They know America's weak, and we're not going to.
yeah.
Well,
you know,
and
they
is
say
now-
we
now
don't
put
have
this-
enough ammunition to fight a war, but people don't realize that every ammunition company, anybody capable of making anything for a war, is obligated to make it on a moment's notice.
Right.
So there is no shortage of ammunition. These people are still cranking out ammunition like crazy.
And let's put all this in perspective with CIA agent Spencer's deathbed confession, which he said by 2024 they had planned to kill over 1.5 billion people. Now look at that. Now put that in the back of your mind and see what they're doing now. They're flooding all the countries, all the Western countries, because we know the Deagle report. The Western countries took the biggest hit with the most population reduction. So they're going to have full-blown wars with infiltrators, fifth columns from within, you know, hitting us all. So we all have civil wars, and we get to the point, and they kill. And then at the same time, they're going to hit us with new viruses while we're in the middle of a war, internal war, because they don't care who they kill. They don't care if they kill the infiltrators that are in there along with us. You know, they're going to kill everybody. So let's just be glad. I don't think that plan's going to be able to carry out to its fullest. You know what I mean? I think something's going to happen before then. So, and listen to Jan Harper Hayes again today. I'm more optimistic than I've been in a while. So,
What'd she say?
huh?
What'd she say today?
Some of it she repeated from before, you know what I mean? But something's getting ready to happen. And they know it's getting ready to happen. That's why they're going all out right now. It's do or die. It's do
They're
or
throwing
die.
a Hail Mary pass. They're throwing a big Hail Mary pass, trying to get this all started so they can
They're
start
not
the
going to give up.
annihilation.
Right. They're not going to give up. They're going to keep going with their plan and try to kill as many people as they can and cause as much chaos as they can to bring in their shit. But there's other people in the background doing stuff. So
They have their puppets. They're
Oh,
going
yeah.
to do what they're told, and that's the killer part of it. People believe these puppets because they promise them the world and never give them a thing, but they always give out a little bit of hope that something's going to happen. And a lot of these people are going to be terribly upset one morning when they wake up and shit's going crazy.
And you know what she said today, too? Jan Harper Hayes today said that she was authorized by the DOD to give this information. Trump retweeted her and said, she's saying good things, listen to her. So whatever she's saying is right, and that's what's getting ready to happen. That's why these guys are moving so quick and they're so chaotic. It seems chaotic, but they live in chaos because they think out of chaos, they're going to bring forth their utopia, which is killing all of us and leaving everything for them.
It's also control through chaos.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
start the
It's a
chaos, they
control
say
chaos.
we have a solution, which never comes around in our favor.
Let me read this real quick. Cabela, I just hope at the end of the day, that America does not get involved in the issues of Israel, causing Israel's opponents to come to our home. My nightmare is that all these immigrants, which are fighting aid, are just sitting around waiting for their call to duty. Yeah. I mean,
Well, did you see New York and Chicago, California? They're already coming out, the Palestinians and all the, Syrians and all that with flags. And I mean, there's enough of them here now to cause chaos. 500 dudes with good rifles and a full blown suits on can cause a lot of damage.
Yep.
So people, you better be ready to step up, save your
get
neighborhoods and your family, and be praying most of all to the one Most High God.
Cabela said she's getting a firearm this weekend, so good for you. Yeah.
What's that?
She said Cabela said she's getting a firearm this weekend.
Good.
Yeah.
Spend a couple hours learning how to use it.
Yeah.
And
If you don't have an outdoor
practice.
range, spend the money for an indoor range and take some courses.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have one, now's the time to get it.
Hell, go to a pawn shop if you have to get one.
Exactly.
Just remember, there's going to be a lot of them laying around when everything starts hitting. So if you got a daggone high point, you might be able to find you a nice Glock or a Smith & Wesson laying on the ground.
But just think, whatever happens now to us and in this country, it would have been 100 times worse. So.
Yep. But we have more weapons than all the armies put together in the world.
We do. Hell yeah. If you don't believe us, go on YouTube and watch some of these dudes.
Yeah.
Shooting buses and all kinds of shit. They can't wait to use their shit.
People don't realize, and where I live at, we have a few of these guys. There's people who own fighter aircraft. They own artillery. They own tanks. They own all this stuff, and they keep it in working order. And they say, oh, this will never happen. Well, these guys learned from their parents from World War II when they started collecting this stuff to have something around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised how many people's faces are going to go blank and how many people are going to go, yeah, bring them over here. We need this over here to protect the town or the neighborhood where you're living at or whatever. And they do it. They have strategic areas plotted already in case of an invasion, like main bridges, railroad tracks. These guys know what they're doing. They fought the battles. And they taught their kids
in
what to do.
In a time of nuclear war, we had all these chainsaws, and we were to go down and cut down every telephone pole on a major highway so our planes could land. Yeah. I mean, there's
that's why they built the interstate system. That's why they
Yeah.
built the interstate system. You got them
That's
long
a tanker.
stretches.
They were tankers.
Well, yeah, but they got these long stretches on the interstate are for a purpose. It's to land aircraft.
Yeah. So if they
They can
take
land
out the
B-52s on some
runways,
of that
we have a
stuff.
place to land them.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all coordinated. Everything's planned. You already know what you're going to do
Well,
ahead of time.
Eisenhower said, I see how the Germans was able to move, and we need this in our country. Now, if you think about you're going to take off at the last minute, just remember every major bridge on every interstate going over a river has been blocked. It has been rigged to be brought down in case of an invasion.
Yeah.
I know that firsthand because I watched a couple guys from a certain army unit, which were combat engineers, go in and maintain the explosive packs on these bridges.
They used to have like miles of briar patches in the Midwest to slow down tanks and all that stuff. They still have all that. Remember back in for World War II and everything, just in case land forces came, because you can't
They
even
also have
penetrate.
culverts,
You
too.
can't penetrate that shit even with a tank.
Yeah, they also have culverts too to trap tanks from going off the interstate or climb onto the interstate.
Yeah.
They're made directly to catch the vehicle and nose it down into the ditch so it can't go anywhere. There's a lot of that strategic stuff I learned while I was in the military that they've done to the roads from the guys who actually were involved in it. It's like I tell people, the only stupid question you have is the question you never ask. And I used to just bring up stuff like, what do you guys do with this? Oh, this is what we do with it, but sometimes we have to do this with it. And it broadened my spectrum of what the layouts of cities and towns are. And people have to understand large cities like New York. I'll use New York because that's a great example. Everybody that lives on Long Island thinks they can leave Long Island. If all them bridges get knocked out, guess what? You're going to have a hard time trying to find a boat to get across to the other side because all them bridges are coming down. And that becomes a goddamn penal colony. Think back to the movie Escape from New York. That's what they did.
Yep.
Ain't no such thing as a conspiracy theorist. It's just a theory, just like science. It's all theory. And most theories come true.
Yeah. Especially if you have the word conspiracy in front of it. They all come true eventually.
That's like a 5-star flag right in front of your statement. Listen up.
John, welcome to the show.
What happened with Goose? He's AWOL.
I know. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, the Goose. We haven't heard from him. What's going on?
Yeah, he told me it was going to be late.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I didn't know it was going to be this late.
Yeah, I'm telling you, everybody's talking about it. Everyone at work, man, they're coming up to me. What do you think, man? What do you think's going on? What do you think's going on? All these guys are engineers, scientists. I mean, people are starting to pay attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's a little late though. They should have been paying attention several years back.
I mean, all the guys I know that they all have a lot of rifles and everything, but now they're like, damn, I should have got that flare, so I could see at night. Now they're gone. So everyone's rushing to get night vision stuff now.
I bought mine to go hog hunting. I haven't been hog hunting for a couple of years, but I still got it. I didn't get rid of it.
Yeah.
Always figured it'd come in handy for something.
Oh, that will come in handy. People don't realize how black it get when there's no electricity, no light.
No
That's
moon.
what I'm saying. You know what? There will be no guessing if somebody shows up at your house in the country, because it'll be so black you can't see your hand in front of you when there's no moon. You know what I mean? So if people have the guts, the average person doesn't have the guts to come out in that. So if they do, right now it's time to get rid of them.
There's something people need to look at too, and a lot of people don't because they don't think anything's going to happen. Is just learn a few things. Like I spend a little bit of time every year refilling all my jar candles. I don't buy them; I make them. It's very easy to do. And I've got a number of candles. I could light my house up like a goddamn runway.
Yeah.
You know, people don't think about that stuff. People
No.
don't think about getting alternative energy sources. You know, it's nice to have a small solar panel to keep shit alive, but you can also have other things like lanterns
Yeah.
and not on batteries, but fuel.
Yeah. the
And they
fuel
say,
one.
oh, well, you have to have white gas for Coleman. No, you don't. All Coleman fuel, liquid fuel, not the gas fuel, but the liquid fuel, like the Coleman 2-burner red tank, they run on everything from kerosene to alcohol and everything in between. You run diesel to it. I used to run JP4 through one, and I still have it working in working order, and I used it 20 years in the military.
Yeah, I pick up every time when I go places. You know, I always look for the old lanterns, the old
Yeah.
with so you can put the fuel in the bottom. I pick them up. I mean, you can get them cheap. I mean, you go to these
Can't
antique
go to
places.
yard sale.
Yeah,
And you know what? I mean, people say, "Well, I can't afford all that long storage food and all that's too expensive." Hell, canned goods will last you 7 years,
Forever.
8 years, maybe. I mean, I've got stuff from 2015, and I'm still opening it, and it's still fine. So don't go by the expiration date. You have to go by when you open it. If it smells good, it's good. If it doesn't, it's bad. But it lasts a lot longer, at least 4 years after the expiration dates on just regular canned goods.
Just make sure it's not dented really hard and it might be leaking.
right.
Or
Yeah, if it's leaking or something, then
starting
throw it
to
away.
expand, then it's bad. Throw it away.
Yep.
Or use it for dog bait.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. You know, something that really screws up a police dog or any dog that's trying to track something, throw some food out there, and that completely screws them up. They'll smell that food and they'll lose their concentration and go for the food because they're hungry.
Yeah.
I've never seen a dog fail to not eat.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say something.
Kind of like how the Klaus Schwab said they were going to block out the sun, but they talked everybody into solar panels.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to buy these solar panels. And then they say, well, we're blocking out the sun to keep climate change down. Well, that's
right.
$20,000 in solar panels just went to waste.
Raccoon. That's why they're having us eat bugs, because they know they're going to block out the sun and nothing's going to grow anymore. You know what I mean? Just like, remember, Bill Gates said, I'm going to cut down half the trees and bury them all. I mean,
yeah.
People are freaking...
For climate change with diesel and gasoline-powered equipment.
Now, some people say, oh, I mean, he's just so stupid. No, they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing.
That's why none of the damn fires were put out in Canada. Usually, Canada's up there putting them damn things out left and right. But this year, our area was hammered with bad air from smoke coming down from Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're trying it. And if you don't stock up on food now, then you'll be going down the road. And depending on how hungry you are, depends on whether or not you're going to eat that damn 3-day-old roadkill.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you haven't started saving, and storing food now, I mean, you're kind of behind the 8 ball now. I mean,
yeah.
Who's that survivalist guy that when it was on TV where he'll take old dead stuff and it's got maggots on it and then he like scrapes it off and then he cooked it with Obama was on his show once and made a mistake and said Mike. Remember?
Yeah, Bear Grylls.
Bear Grylls, yeah. Yeah. He eats shit that's like crawling with maggots on it and everything. Golly. I guess as long as you cook it well enough, you can eat it.
But that's the thing, you got to cook it.
You got to cook it
I've
so
been in the
it's like
situation.
crispy and nothing left of it.
I was in the situation where I had to eat whatever I could find for about a month. And people look at me nowadays, they go, how can you eat that? I said, it just depends on how hungry you are. Well, I'll never eat that. I said, you're just not hungry right now.
Yeah. Yeah. A friend of mine, his father was in Korea and they were retreating from the Chinese and they were eating everything. When he got out of there, he had a worm so long. It was like 3 feet long.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was
tapeworm.
Yep.
Yep. I got taught by a guy most people don't even remember. He used to come on a grape nut commercial.
Who's that?
He used to say grape nuts taste like wild hickory nuts.
Yeah.
Yule Gibbons.
Well, you'll give it.
I used to have a network between him and me, and he would tell me who to go watch at a damn seminar, what books to buy, and to practice what I was doing. And this was back in the 70s, and this guy taught me a lot of stuff along with a bunch of other that I met. And I used to teach this shit to guys when we was out in the field, and they all thought I was nuts. Now they're calling me every day, asking me about how I did this and how I did that, because they just weren't paying attention at the time and couldn't remember it.
Hey, guys, I'm reading something interesting here. A speaker for Hamas is calling for a day of rage on Friday, all worldwide, an attack on Jews worldwide.
You might just get it.
You know, I saw a funny picture here a few minutes ago of Rashid Tlaib's flags in front of her office. She's got the Palestinian flag and the pride flag.
Yeah.
You know, if nothing else, these times show us who people truly are.
Yeah.
You know,
they should either go
those
in
two
there
things
and
are
tell him to remove
non-congruent,
him
by the
or
way,
remove
but,
her from office because she's a traitor.
But
yeah, when they're running for office, they run to the Jewish people for the money. But when it comes to stuff like this, they say we're for the Palestinians.
Tlaib is not from this country.
No.
Okay, she's
actually
from
a Palestinian.
an Arab country.
She's from Palestinian.
Yeah. And she should not be able to fly. Nobody in the Capitol should be able to fly anything but a goddamn American flag and the state flag that they represent. And that's it.
I agree.
But they throw all this other bullshit in everybody's faces and make it sound like they're being victimized. Them people are not victimized sitting in a damn government office. They're making billions of dollars, throwing it in their offshore accounts, become millionaires, and these son of a bitches are only making $190,000 a year. Something's wrong with the government.
There's a lot wrong with the government.
These people do not care about the American people.
Well, she was
Few
placed
of
in
them do,
office
but they're outnumbered
by her constituents. You know, and that speaks to the people in Minnesota right there.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but did the people of
Minnesota?
Minnesota?
I think that's where she's from. Let me check it out.
Yeah, well, I think you're right.
But did the people from Minnesota really put her in, or is she a product of the
she's a plant
software shit?
She's a plant. She's actually from Michigan.
Michigan, yep. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. It was.
She also married her brother so he could have citizenship.
Wrong guy, wrong gal.
Oh, that's
one.
Oh yeah, that's Ehan or whatever her name is.
Oh, there's Goose.
But hey, did you Raccoon and Mark? Did you see where the DOJ is prosecuting the Philippines? Smartomatic and some Philippine politicians for bribery, and they fixed the 2016 election according to our DOJ. But what people don't understand is that Sparkomatic program, or Smartomatic, I should say, is actually the identical OS system that is in our machines.
Yep.
Well, I'll just say this.
Identical. They just what they did is they changed the name because they didn't want it associated with that.
I have no doubt. Well, you're probably right about this software and these glitches, but in this woman's, this Talib we're talking about, she won by 200,000 votes in a district where there's only 250 million. So
Yeah.
It would be hard to register a rigged election with a disparity.
Biden
like
got
that.
82 million when
I checked the names to see how many are buried already in a cemetery years before the election.
Yeah. I mean, they came up with hundreds of thousands.
I guess my point here is, guys, she wins in a landslide. In her
Who?
And they're doing that.
Landslide.
But I hear Goose.
Who?
Is that Goose?
Holy shit.
Hey, you guys, I could be gone for freaking 20 days. You guys still talking about the same thing.
You don't even know what we've been talking about.
No, yeah, we don't even know what we were talking about.
Well, I heard that the first 2 minutes, the Philippines, they use the same machine and they stole the election. Same song, different place. Anyway, how everybody's doing?
Oh, where the hell you at?
I was praying for you guys, praying for our nation, for our country.
You sound like you're in a tin can.
Yeah, I know, you do.
He's in his Tesla.
Well, this is the one that we're going to drive tomorrow. So you guys are aware what happened to the kids, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We already talked about it.
Yeah, you missed that part
Yeah.
already.
You know, I was praying to make sure somebody, somehow, these freaking Democrats, they're out of control. Freaking 50% of them support what Hamas is doing down there.
Mm-hmm.
It's freaking amazing how these people are supporting evil. They don't give a damn. They don't. They don't care at all. And then you got this guy, what's his name? Biden?
Potato head.
Out of control. Out of control. Totally out of control.
We were
And then did you guys heard, Maverick, did you tell the audience that the Iraqi DOJ was trying to come here to arrest Trump?
we didn't touch on that today. Yeah,
Well, bravo. I don't know. You don't know about that, but our DOJ was coordinating with the DOJ of Iraq. I didn't know they had one. And they were coming here to charge Trump with war crimes. They were going to charge Trump. So they're using all these other freaking country to try to take down Trump.
Are you talking about that visitor that was coming in invited by the DOJ that has an arrest warrant for Trump? He's from another country.
Yeah, from Iraq. War crimes. Yeah.
They'll blow that dude
This is the
away.
kind of stuff. This is the kind of stuff that these people are doing. They're so freaking evil. They're giving the goddamn $6 billion and they're freaking surplus goddamn Hamas to do all these freaking attacks. And we are here fucking talking about cooking.
Just remember, we don't have an extradition treaty with Iraq or Iran or any of those places right now. Not on the law book. There ain't shit they can do about it.
Yeah, they try to come
if they do allow it, then those people are, as we already know, a bunch of daggone communist sympathizers committing treason.
Yeah.
Working with a foreign government to enhance the foreign government. And to take out their political opponents.
Just because it's going on right now and it's been going on for years doesn't mean that they're not eventually going to hang and justice is going to be served. This shit could go on for a while. I mean, look at Nikolai Ceausescu. His day came when the time shit was right. They hung his ass in the streets.
Yep.
So, and
Actually,
I told you,
he was actually killed by a firing squad.
no, he was shot in his palace, and then they hung him and his wife out in the street. I stood in his blood spot in 1990.
Yeah, I served in that country for a year.
Yeah,
he was executed on an army base.
I was there for months. I walked the streets, the bullet-ridden streets of Romania, all over. And the sniper shots that would hit the ground that didn't hit the people. Stuck my finger in it. Yeah. No, I mean, when people had enough, they've had enough. I mean, the military went on the people's side, and it was over. You know.
Very true.
The people said, "Hey, you're either for us or you're against us," and they said, "No, we're with you." I think it was out of mercy they shot him because if the people would have got a hold of him, I mean, they already beat the bodies, where they were falling apart in the street.
Yeah, he was given a trial and taken right out and shot right away. I mean, just found guilty and taken right out and shot. And the people were the firing squad was told not to shoot him in the face or her because they wanted to put it on TV.
Yeah. And then there was like a square, like kind of out in the middle of the road, and they hung their bodies there and let people beat on them with bats and stuff like that because people were so pissed off. I mean, they were very angry.
I really don't see anything like that, an uprising like what you're describing there could happen in this country. I think we're too comfortable.
No, I agree.
I think we're way too comfortable.
You'd never see anything like
comfortable.
that.
We like our football on the weekend, and
No, I'm just hoping that
when they say, "Hey, come get this shot because there's this fake disease out there," and people just line up, and we all go wittingly along.
Yeah,
sheep.
Well, no, I'm just
you
hoping.
shut off their electricity and take their internet away from him. They're liable to get upset.
Yeah.
Hey, Mary.
Yes, sir.
I guess somebody don't like to hear what I gotta say, but you guys gotta be careful. The media is helping Hamas and all that freaking money to buy all that freaking missile. It was sent by the White House.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that a bit.
And another thing is, how the hell Israel didn't recognize that this shit was going to take place when they had the best intelligence services in the entire world? How
we already talked about that, Goose.
We've already been there, man. You should have been here earlier.
Hey, I was in a mission with God, guys. Come on.
All right.
What's the replay?
We agree with you on that, Goose.
You guys need Jesus.
We all need Jesus. Thanks.
That's right. We all do. We living in some really, really tough times.
All right, we're going to get some Jesus this weekend, Goose.
That's
hey,
right.
remember, Sodom and Gomorrah fell for the same shit we're doing now.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me tell you something, Akun. You okay, bro? You know, a lot of people thought 3,000-4,000 years ago before the flood that Noah was preaching for 120 years, and they say that's a freaking conspiracy until they saw the water drop in the ground and they changed their mind. It's no longer
they didn't call it a conspiracy back then, Goose, because the CIA is the one that invented that slogan, conspiracy theory.
CIA's been there forever.
They were just a different name back then.
Yeah, it was different name.
Yeah, 1963 they came up
you couldn't talk in those days, Raccoon, because they would have cut off your head.
Yeah. Would have been marked as a heretic and taken out and put in a flame.
Yes. But hey, I'm sorry that I missed the show. I was just busy with stuff, and but tomorrow I'm gonna, make sure I interview all those.
Some jackass doing it. Fucking. And I must be watching. I don't know where he's watching from. Free Palestine. Free Palestine.
Ma- hey, Maverick, I thought we had an interview today.
It's next week.
Oh, next week. Okay.
Yeah, bravo. Those people, the freaking squad, and many other people are supporting Hamas.
Well, yeah. Do you
But
see all the different and the media is eating it up, man, showing all the different, you know,
well,
like
the
I said,
media, they're
Chicago,
bunch of
California, New
evil
York.
people, bravo. But
Huh?
bravo, I got good news for you. They had a big poll in X, not Twitter, X, and Trump is beating. No, Trump. Democrats voted. 30% of Democrats are voting for Trump so far. That's the poll they put out. Yeah.
Well, now we got a third party. Now that Kennedy decided he's going to run.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
media.
only the weak
I think
people. Only the weak people are
Yes.
going to vote
But the
for him because he
only
talks
one,
about a
I don't know who
democracy.
gonna vote for them. Mark, are you gonna vote for Kennedy, third party, just like you did 20 years ago?
I did change my voter registration this past week. I actually went down to and I'm now an independent. I will not be
Yeah.
voting.
All right,
I will
Mark.
not be
Yeah,
voting any
hey,
Mark,
three
Republican
three
primary.
yeah!
independents, three independents on the show right now. How about you, Raccoon? Are you independent?
Nope.
Registered? You still
Nope.
I'm
Republican?
independent.
I'm a
Raccoon is a
Republican.
diehard Trump slugger.
No, actually, I will take and research the person. And I've been researching Kennedy, and Kennedy keeps talking about democracy. Democracy. We got to save our democracy. Democracy is what got us in this goddamn problem. We were a republic before 1871.
Right.
That term was invented by the Rothschilds and all the other oligarchs to destroy America and make it a
Damn,
slave
Raccoon,
colony once again.
you're
Hey,
going back so far in 1871.
Hey,
you got to go
I
back
was
in
listening
history. If
to
you
a
don't
speech that
study history, if you don't study history, you're doomed to repeat it.
I was
Yeah.
actually listening to RFK Jr. talk today, and he was talking about being at the border. And he said he would before he'd gone to the border, he was all in favor of an open border for humanitarian reasons, that it was a humanitarian thing. But he changed his mind. And I guess my point in saying all that is, when was the last time you saw a politician stand at a podium and say, "Hey, I was wrong"?
Yeah, you're right.
Every
It was
day, Mark.
Well,
it was very refreshing.
Mark,
well,
don't make
just
the
his
same
stance on the
mistake you made
cabal and
20
on
years
on
ago.
the vaccines and everything. I mean, that's
It's,
enough right there. If he could
yeah.
bring those people down, that would be good.
Bravo. Don't worry about the vaccine. If you don't get your vaccine, they're gonna put freaking air in your freaking nose, and you don't even know, and you're gonna die. So they want to get you, they're gonna
They're
get you.
already talk,
They're already putting
they're
in the
already
food,
talking
dude.
about putting it in the food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, they're already doing it. They've already done a lot of food.
So
Yeah.
unless you are living a raccoon in the freaking jungle, then you might don't get that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Raccoon, you're
raccoon live in
You
a
gotta,
got a different
you know how you
lifestyle
get
than we
away from
do.
all that? You support local people. Like I'm looking right here, a local beef farmer right
You say
here,
local like
pasture
crazy.
no
lo-
local.
local, a
Yeah.
local
I
shop
know,
here.
I know. Hey, Mary, say
Before you
local.
make fun of
Well, they
Montana,
might be
just
loco. I
remember,
don't know, but
hey,
hey, as long
hey
as they
guys,
have
just remember, before
organic
you
beef.
make fun of Montana, just remember one very important thing. All them little white sugar packets you see in the restaurants come from the sugar beets they raise here.
There you go.
Hey, raccoon.
Yeah, but that's all bleach.
I thought you was
That's
gonna say
all
that's come
bleach.
from the cartel, cocaine, or fentanyl.
No,
Fe- uh,
we raise sugar beets here by the millions of tons. And they're in their harvest right now, and
oh, that make you
right outside my
obese.
house
Oh,
is a large highway, and all you see day after day for 3 months is sugar beet trucks hauling to the dumps. over there where they dump them off when they weigh them in. And
Well, you
from
gotta
there,
be
it goes
careful,
on
raccoon.
tandem. Listen. From there, it goes on tandem trailers to the beet factory where they turn it into sugar. And it all goes to Western Sugar. So when you see Western Sugar, that's Montana
I'm
sugar
gonna put
being
a
brought
freaking
in
lawsuit
from
against
all
that
around here.
people. That's why a lot of people got diabetes.
Yeah. Is that considered
That's
cane
just
sugar?
because they
Beet
don't know when
sugar?
to shut their mouth and quit eating.
Exactly.
No, beet
Well, you
sugar
don't
is
have to
very
eat it.
different than
That
cane
freaking
sugar.
sugar is a
Yeah.
Yeah,
diabetes
that's what I'm wondering.
freaking
Is that
injection in your body.
makes your glycine rate go up really high and
Diabetes
all
is
that shit,
also
like cane?
diabetes is also 100% curable, but it's not
By
in the
diet.
best interest of the medical industry because they make $83 billion a year with insulin people.
Well, there's a lot of things that
And they're
you
using pig insulin. That's the only thing they can use is pig insulin. So think about that for a minute.
So
They
you're getting
stop making
pig
pigs, they
DNA in
stop
you.
making insulin.
Just like they put on monkey viruses and things like that and stick it in your body. Yeah. These people are
Monkey
mad
virus has been
scientists.
in it. Monkey virus has been in every vaccination since polio started back in the 40s.
We're all going to turn into
And
monkeys.
I had the receipts to show that too.
Hey, Goose, you better watch out. You're
Well,
going to a monkey.
well, let me tell
Yeah.
you something. In Montana only, damn, bro, you got a high rate on welfare in Montana. What's going on down there?
High rate of wealth. You said.
Well, you know what? I stay in Florida. We got a good governor. We got some good stuff going on here. We don't have to worry
We're in
about
the
some of
freedom
this
state
stuff.
here, so we're good. Yeah.
Freedom State. We could say whatever we want to, and we
Just
can change. We can change our vote 3 times.
be vigilant, though, Freedom State. They might try to take you down. These people are evil, you know?
It won't
Well,
take
that's
much to
why.
cut Florida off.
The Bravo
The
compound.
majority of Florida can be cut off in a heartbeat.
Yeah, well, that's
Do
true.
you guys talk
All they
about
gotta
the
do is
new
start dropping
guy?
hose and you'll have sinkholes all over the place cutting you off from the mainland.
Cinco, why cinco más cinco? Freaking,
We're like the
damn
sinkhole
raccoon.
capital of the world here.
Cinco de
Yeah,
Mayo.
isn't it funny how all the meteor movies always have it hit in Florida? What's that tell you?
That's just Florida's just a sandbar. Come on.
See that? What's that movie?
What was that
Greenland.
last one? Was it Greenland, wasn't it? They were hitting.
Greenland, yeah, that one. It was.
Yeah, they were hitting Florida. That's how it started.
Yeah. Yeah, because we can't build an underground bunker here.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'll go
you know,
jump into a large
raccoon. Why
plastic
you
bat and jump.
raccoon? You got a
What?
deficit on water. Why you guys don't have no water down there?
We have water all over the place here, man. You just got to go down deep enough.
Damn,
I got a well
according to the
28
number,
foot. I got a well 28 foot that can pump out 1,800 gallons of water an hour.
but you got the
And I'm
30
on
year
city water.
entering and a drought. Your conditions are dramatically
I
bad.
live in a freaking
Damn.
river delta. Every river delta is like that
Well,
around
I
here
guess
because it's
you only one
bedrock.
who got a river because they're talking about you guys got to dry out.
If
And you guys
if
believe
the
in
river
freaking
dried
climate
out,
change.
if the river dries out, I go 2 miles to my west, go over to the clean out place that they have where they wash out the cattle trucks. They have 2 wells over there that go down 500 feet and they get 85-degree water out of it. It's called a hot water clean out. And
Hey,
they've been
Montana
pumping
look
those
nice,
damn
man.
things since 1961 and they haven't gone dry yet.
We may have to move out to Montana.
Why you got so many people in food stamp down there? Let me see.
You what?
He said
Yeah,
there's a lot.
Montana got a lot of people food stamps.
What are you talking about?
Montana.
Saying in
Montana, bro,
Montana,
you got a lot of food stamp. You're the capital.
like a welfare
We,
state.
we,
That's what he's saying.
we
Let me
have
see.
we have 9 Indian reservations here, and I live just north of the largest one. Okay, and that one has probably the size of I don't know, probably the size of New Jersey is the size of this damn Indian reservation. It's the largest one in the damn nation.
But you still get
We have
food stamps.
there's plenty of game out here. We don't have 1 million people here. We have just over 1 million people in the entire state. We send
Oh,
out
you
more
do?
cattle a year than we have population. 90% of your Angus beef comes from Montana.
Then we should move there.
I know. I think we may have.
Well, if you come here, make sure you bring
Yeah.
some winter clothing because we're getting ready to go into winter.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, your population is 1.1 million. You're right.
Yeah. The largest town here, which is Billings, Montana, just has over 150,000 people.
The
That's the largest
raccoon,
town
only 88.7% of people in Montana, they're white.
Yeah,
You don't have
the
no
rest of them are
freaking Latin
Indians,
people
and
there. What's going on here?
we have a lot of different people here. We have black people here. We have a lot of people that came over
Bro,
here
you don't have no black
years
people.
ago that are Muslims. Huh?
You don't have no black people. Black population is 0.0.0.6%.
Yes, we do.
Meaning
We have
0.06%.
we have a black chief of police here in my town. Okay.
You got Indian 6.5. That's the second highest
Yeah.
one. So you guys are Biden lovers. Only white people back there.
No.
You heard it first from Goose.
Yes. I mean,
Goose don't know what he's talking about. Goose don't know what he's talking about. They had a Democrat daggone governor here, and they said,
ask Lisa.
"Piss on
Lisa's
this,"
telling me
and they
this.
voted and got in a guy who gives us all the rights of our Constitution back to us. And he says to the feds, he says, "Stay out of my state."
Hey, did I hear you say that Montana was the #1 state for beef cattle?
Yeah. Well, it's one of the largest ones.
Well, Texas
we
is the
send
largest.
out about we send out
Texas
about
is,
2 million.
is far.
We send out about
the
2
biggest.
million a year here.
Well, he said
And some of them were transferred to stockyards in Texas.
Montana makes up 2% of all the beef
and-
cattle
Hey,
in the
guys.
United States,
Don't mess
Yeah.
with raccoon because Trump won
which is
Montana
just slightly ahead of Florida,
56.9.
by the way.
I know 5 ranchers here that have gigantic ranches here, and they send out beef. And sometimes when they're sending out the yearlings to go to the stockyards, they'll send out 150 damn truckloads, semi-truckloads of beef going south to Colorado, southern Wyoming, Texas, and Oklahoma to be put in the stockyards to be fattened up for your table.
Well, hey, tell them to keep them coming.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, that's right.
I bet they're not. I bet they're not breeding any on Bill Gates's farms. He's probably making one of those
Bill
bug
Gates don't own
factories,
any.
man. The cricket
Bill
factory.
Gates don't own any. Bill Gates don't own any land in Montana yet.
No, I know.
Well,
We have 2 ranches here. One of them is 1 million acres, and one of them is just under 1 million acres. One of them's owned by Ted Turner, and another one is owned by the Booth brothers. And I worked on that ranch, repairing their buildings and stuff. And let me tell you, it takes you an hour and a half to drive across some of those in the short areas.
Yeah, Ted Turner's no better than Bill Gates, though. But he does. He used to have a. Remember, he used to have a place where he had bison. You could buy Ted Turner's place. I forget what it was called. And you could buy, bison burgers and all that. And had bison steaks and buffalo steaks and had a bunch of different things there.
Never had
It didn't last long though. It closed down.
hey guys, let me ask you a question.
raccoon has had it. But
I think you're on to me. My signal's going to crap right now.
Red
We don't have that
Dawn.
many
Red
freaking
Dawn's coming.
communication tower.
no,
It took.
Red didn't come in. That's the funny thing. Those two movies, it was what was it? The first original one was Russia, and the second one was North Korea. But they both came in the same area. They came through Washington State, through Spokane, up that way. Which makes it interesting. Makes you wonder why both movies had them come in the same exact.
Because they came in a friendly state. That's a friendly.
Hey, Mark,
Either that or
you
that's
want
their
to
weakest.
go?
That's their weakest spot.
Do you want to
Yeah.
go this
Oh, because they
weekend to
love
Miami
them.
with
They probably
us?
thanked them for coming.
Say that again, Goose.
Yeah, my signal's gone to
No,
shit.
can you invite Mark to come over tomorrow or Saturday?
I well, I
That
mean, he can
that way
go.
we can interview Mark and we can ask the question why he switched to
He can
independent.
get a ticket.
Yeah, I look forward to when I get my notification in the mail. I'm going to take a picture of it and send it to you.
Well, you
I,
still gonna
I did that.
pose, choice?
I will not be able to vote in the Republican primary.
Yeah, I
Yes.
did that during when they
But
screwed Trump
guys, you
over.
gotta understand, Trump already won this freaking nomination. It's no
Oh
way
hell
nobody gonna take him down. That's why I don't bet against Bravo because I'll be losing my money.
yeah.
And I think Trump. I mean, a lot of people start switching to Trump now. I mean, I think this thing with us and what happened in Israel, it put the nail in the coffin for Biden. Biden will be gone.
Well, and what did Trump and what is a lot of these other guys? I think one of it was Dan Scavino or whatever. I mean, they're saying Taiwan is next. So I mean, it's just a matter of time before Taiwan is struck, and then, like I said, we're going to have three. We're going to have a real world war because it'll be in all regions.
Bravo.
And who knows if we're going to get hit with something here? Mark seems to agree with that too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, 150 plus freaking terrorists.
More Goose. There's more than that. If
There's
they're
more than
if
that.
they're willing to tell you that there's 150, then maybe times that by 100.
Yeah.
Identify. Remember what I told you guys 8, 9 months ago. My friend, his stepson, that is a police officer, he stopped and cuffed the freaking recruiter for the terrorists. And the FBI didn't want to come down. So he called his friend from Border Patrol. Border Patrol agents arrived to his freaking police station. And before they arrived, they told the police officers, you need to handcuff everybody in the house. That guy, we've been looking for him for a long time. And they took the guy. Yeah, but the FBI didn't want to come down. Yeah. It's been
Yeah. Well, I
happening
mean, I hope
everywhere.
you guys better be ready to be deputized by your local sheriffs because he's going to need all the help he can get.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bravo. When they come over, I just going to give him my bullets. That's it.
Mhm.
Take my bullets. Here you go. These people are out of control, and we got to stand up for our country. Stop being a freaking coward and stand up. I know you are used to have the 1% to serve the military. I'm part of that 1%, and many of our audience are, and I know they are ready because I know Mark is ready. I know Maverick is ready. I know Raccoon for sure he's ready. And Bravo, even though he wasn't there, for he's ready.
Even though he
So
was in the Air Force.
no, the Air Force is the one who dropped the bombs, man.
No,
But
I know, but
but Bravo
I like
Bravo
that.
don't have no bombs anymore. I think Bravo's gonna go fight with the Filipino army. Hey, Bravo, if you marry a Philippine, you become a Philippine
Hey, at least they're
citizens.
doing something now. They're going out in these little patrol boats and they're saying "F you, Chinese," and they're taking down their barriers. Man, they got some balls. I like it.
And then we got Cubela. She gonna join the army, and she gonna do some serious damage out there too. Cubela, would you fight for this country? Mary, can you ask Cubela?
She hears you. You give her a chance. Let me see. She didn't answer yet. Get back in here.
That's people need to stop being afraid, and it's a reason why our founding fathers give us the Second Amendment.
I'm sure Cubella would. She seems to be.
It makes you wonder.
Oh, here you go.
It makes you wonder why the Army came out earlier this year and announced that they're going with a new rifle, a 6.8 millimeter. Because and I read
that
it.
was a year ago. 6.8. They're replacing
but it said the reason for it was different threats or new emerging threats coming. I'm like, what is it? They're going to be. They've got elephants coming at them, or what?
They replaced the 249 and they replaced the freaking AR-15, and they're replacing with a high caliber 6.8, 6.9.
Yeah, 6.8. Yeah,
you're fighting the aliens. I mean,
and you know how much it costs?
Well, it's funny because when they found that giant in Cananar, and it was like 13 feet tall.
Exactly.
They had to go with 308s and 50 cals to take it down.
Who, Bravo? Who you talking about? The freaking Afghanistan giants?
Yeah, the one in Afghanistan in
Bravo,
2004.
that's why they use a freaking javelin for that shit.
Yeah. They just kept they kept shooting it in the face until they took it down.
They used the javelin, and we were winning that war, but like we always do, this guy didn't care, and he killed with fat ass Mealy, the general, killed 12 Marines and 1 sailor in 1 day. These people are crazy. They don't care about our kids. They don't care at all.
Did you look at the bullet? That 6.8. How long it is? It looks like a missile. It's crazy.
Bravo. It's not like a missile, but it's big. 6.8.
It looks like a missile. When you compare it to the 5.56, that 6.8 looks huge.
Bravo, did you ever shoot a 5.56?
I've got 2 of them, and I've got an 8.
Or they're brand new.
5.56 is the same as shooting a 223 and bullet. It's the same bullet, basically.
NATO uses 5.56, and then the 223 is a civilian version of it. Yeah, but it's not. Doesn't have as much. It doesn't have as much powder in it, though.
You got
Bravo, get in front of my gun with a 203. I bet you kill you.
So I think I'm going. I got to go to the 308s now.
Yeah.
You're going to need. I think you're going to need at least that.
No, but they're switching the 249 semi-automatic gun that is really good. The 249 really good. Now they're replacing that one with the better one, which is really good. But you can't get it, Bravo, as a civilian. That thing costs like $8,000.
Wow.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I can't. We can't get that 6.8, but we could get a 308, which kind of it's kind of like it, but still that bullet is just it's kind of a. I've never seen one that long like that. The projectile, how far it sticks out, it's like a spear. The way it's shaped, it's crazy. But you're like, wonder why they did that.
Cubala, what would you do for our country?
Well,
yeah, maybe.
Cubala, would you kick some ass if these people come down here, or will you surrender?
oh my God, I would probably the adrenaline would just go. You'd probably have to cut my head off or something for me to stop.
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
know,
talking about, Cubala. That's right.
because I have children. I have an enormous family who has served already. I have a brother who committed suicide 6 years after he served in Iraq and Iran. And like
Sad to
my
hear that.
family
Sorry
is
about that.
very. I appreciate it. It's been a long time now. Not that it's any less painful. Those questions are still there, but we pretty much understand the things that he saw caused him
Cubella,
to do
you
what he
right.
did. But I
Uh,
don't think that I could do any more or any less than any average human being. But I know that um, if it were to come down to it, I could kick some fucking ass, bro.
that's what
Hell
I'm
yeah.
talking about, girl. That's what I'm talking about. You see, Mary,
Uh-huh.
told you.
I know it.
Like, it wouldn't
But you
have
know,
to be just men. If this came to our doorstep, do you know how many badass American women there are?
that's right. Many mama bears. That's right.
Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of them have
Like,
really taken
I
up.
think America is underestimated when it comes to the women. Like, we think about the manpower, the gun power, but the women behind the guns, you will sometimes see m- I can't maybe equal to. I mean, for every gun in a home, I would assume that if there's a household, including a mother, a father, and children, everybody in the household is aware where the guns are and how to use it
Well,
properly.
Cruella,
That's
you
how
right. You're right. A
that's
lot
what
of
needs to be
women
happening right now.
listening. A lot of women listening what's going on, and they're really doing what Cruella said. They're getting ready. My wife before she was kind of afraid to shoot a gun, not anymore. I took her to a range few times. She got two guns, and she said she's ready to kick some ass if she have to. Yeah.
No, and I think that's gonna speak to most. I mean, yes, there's gonna be the cowards who run and whatever, but I think for the most part, most Americans, if they own a weapon, they're gonna use it. They're gonna protect their families, obviously, and their neighbors. I mean, I don't think. I mean, it's like us,
But
dude.
you know what? If it gets close to that, we're not going to be sitting in our house waiting for them, letting them waiting for them to come get us.
Are
You know
we
what I
gonna
mean?
understand? Are we gonna understand our enemy though directly? Is it gonna be a clear cut? We
Yeah,
know our enemy, or is it gonna be blurred? Because I have a high feeling that we
Well,
are not gonna know our enemy. Like,
that's a
we're
good.
gonna have an
Did
idea, but
you?
it's not gonna be.
well, did you look at the Israeli thing? They were all dressed up in black and things like that. You know what I mean? So
As
Well, that's the thing.
identifiers.
How they
yeah,
make.
you could
They had
identify
the
them. I mean, there were some
best.
in civilian clothes, but most of them
Bravo,
had
they,
some
it don't
sort of
matter, Bravo.
black
They had the
uniform on.
best. They had the best intelligence agency in the world, and they
And we
missed
still
this
have.
one.
Yeah, yeah.
Why? That's the
Yeah,
question. Why now in New
but
York, the
listen though,
FBI sent a message yesterday to New Yorkers to be vigilant. Why they're saying that? To be vigilant in the street. Something's going on
that's
right
because
now.
they're loaded with them there. They let them all in. It's
Proximity
kind of like the
to
Trojan horse.
access to the
It's
country.
But
it's
why
kind
the
of like the
FBI
Trojan horse. They
send
let
that
them in.
message? That's the thing. Why they send that message when usually they don't do that?
Right. Was that like a little message for them to get
Yeah,
ready? Yeah, I
yeah,
think so.
yeah.
Could have been. Could be.
Well, I'll tell
So
you what.
the,
New York City can't defend itself, but I know a lot of people that live in New York State, and those dudes have guns. A lot of them. The ones that I know that came down here have a shitload, and they brought them down
well,
with them.
we
Yeah.
talk smack about New York, but it's not about the people in New York. There's a lot of good people there, a lot of
Yeah,
good
the
officers and
whole
all that
state
good
of New
stuff.
York's red is deep red, except for New York
But
City.
Well, it also brings into the same reason why they're trying to bring everybody out of, you know, putting everybody in compact cities. They want everybody in the city, so it's, it's the
Mm.
people that are outside, and those are the dangerous ones.
and the
Dangerous to their
thing is, these
cause.
people don't understand, Coella. Those woke cities are the one, the first one gonna get attacked, and they're so dumb, and they keep supporting them.
Right.
Right. Right.
Because they don't want to come here. They don't want to come here because they know we do have guns and we don't mind using them. But they're gonna go to those cities that are wrong with all these freaking crimes, and that's where they're gonna take over.
There's got to be at least
Well,
10 million Americans that are
Yeah.
just waiting to say, bring some shit to my freaking door. Bring it. You know,
Well,
there's
we-
got to
They
be.
may not have to wait too much longer.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to end the show, but we're at the 2-hour mark, so they're going to end it for us pretty soon. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Goose and I will be traveling to Miami tomorrow for the Reawaken America.
And we're gonna be in the reawakening.
So,
Did you get your T-shirts yet?
yeah, I got them today. Got 'em
Yeah,
today.
the freaking
We're ready.
Pico
Good.
Smoocher.
All right.
Yeah.
Give us a quick prayer out of here because they're going to cut us pretty soon.
All right.
Here. 2-minute warning.
All right, Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this evening, Lord. We just pray that everyone listening here, Lord, you keep them safe, protected. Lord, we just pray that you open the eyes of all your children that are still sleeping. We just ask this in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming out tonight. We had a great show. We got a
Thank you, Matt.
night. We appreciate it. We'll be back next Wednesday night. Make sure you come back next Wednesday. We are interviewing Shane Jenkins from jail in D.C. He's one of the January 6th political prisoners. He's going to be calling us from the jail. So that'll be a good one.
Supposedly really good with tomahawks. We don't know yet. We'll have to ask him.
We'll have to answer them, yeah. All right. Let's see if I can find something to play us out of here with.
My people of this country and we're under attack. They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the fact. If you man enough, come stand with us, take USA back. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flag. American flag. American flag. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flag. I ain't never gonna pretend that I give a damn. Anybody who's offended, come get it, we throwing hands. Anybody not trying to make America great again, you a punk, you a clown, better know where I stand. I'm no